get us going because these people are on time and we want to honor them. How are you guys? Everybody good? Woohoo. I take that as a yes. Yeah, I take that as a yes. I'm so excited. You know, Chase and I are here with all of the team leaders and some of your leadership team. And we're here at this event called Mega Leadership, which just started last year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I pulled this guy who's our guest today, who's the author of this book called Leaving Six Figures, which is amazing. He's been on my podcast. He's a super cool guy, super successful. And we're going to talk about a lot of really great things. So thank you for stepping out.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, he's missing Mega Leadership to be with you
this
guys.
Seems more fun. We're dancing and stuff here.
Dancing. I hope
too serious in there. This is fun in here.
We like to have fun. So we're going to have an amazing conversation because I've studied him and learned about him on my podcast, and you're in for a treat. Yeah, Leaving Six Figures. And if you honestly go back to my podcast, and I'll make sure we drop it in the chat or we'll put it back on the pages, but my podcast is the second half with Melanie Kenneman, and you're episode 8.
Oh, cool.
By the way, which is my lucky number
like
8.
That.
So anyway, so you got to go back and listen. So anyway, so we just have a couple announcements and then we'll jump right into the interview. So we're really happy that you're here today and it's great to see your faces. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Chase, the camera loves you. So let me go back to my PowerPoint.
I don't know why.
Yes. Okay.
Just
well,
look good. That's
yeah, you're just looking good. Okay. So all of a sudden I got to find my PowerPoint one more time. I had it up and I lost it. Okay, let's go to, let me go screen share again. This is how you see how we can multitask from the Kalahari, which if you haven't been here, it's actually pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but it is pretty cool. Okay, are you seeing the slides? Okay, great. All right, well, we're gonna jump right in. So welcome to team meeting and I'm excited. I can't believe it's May already.
It's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's like summertime.
It's summer already. Like everything you guys write today is already like June, July, like
it's like Christmas gifts now here, summer. Like that's how I feel.
It feels for
Yeah.
sure. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna love getting to know him. He was a state trooper for 17 years. I'll read more about him in a minute. And walked away from a pension 3 years before it was time because it was the right time for you. So inspirational, smart guy. You're in for a treat. I'm so excited to introduce you to John Clidy today. But with that, let's just go through a couple announcements. Super happy that you're here. Guys, it's Red Day week.
That's such a great week.
It's such a great week. It is such a great week. Hey, does it say it's recording on yours?
Yep.
Okay, great. Awesome. Because I'm at full screen and I'm like, I'm not seeing the record button going. All right. So Red Day. Oh my gosh. You know, you think about, we've got Mega Leadership Monday, Tuesday, and we're actually hosting Bold right now in Austin.
Wow.
So we have
It's like
Bold
busy.
Wednesday. This week is insane because Wednesday is Bold and then Thursday.
Getting listings and giving back to the community. What's better?
It doesn't get better than
Right?
that.
I love it.
And then what we're learning here is how to give back to you guys. And it's been such an inspirational, they showed this graph, which I love because we talk a lot about leadership at Keller Williams, right? And one of the things that I love is there's this visual, and I'm sure we'll share this with you later, but you think about, we're all leaders in our own way. And everyone on this call, sometimes you lead and sometimes you follow.
Oh my God. I follow all the time. My wife reminds me. I'm like, follow, and my kids.
Yeah.
Follow that.
Just follow. And that's how we are with our clients, with our kids, with our significant others, or whoever in our life, where sometimes we lead and sometimes we follow. And so there was this graph of these people all standing in a circle. And the question was, who's the leader? And I loved that.
Okay. We're all leaders at certain points of the day or week or month or
Exactly.
the minute.
It could change by the minute, right? It could change. And I think really great leaders are also really great followers.
Exactly right.
And so anyway, we wouldn't have a job if we didn't have amazing agents like you guys that we get to work with. So I think servant leadership is a big thing that's really unique to Keller Williams. And you've been involved at a very high level. So I'm really excited to have you step out and be on co-hosting with me today.
Great. I love it.
Thank you for being here. So welcome to Austin. Back to Austin.
You're right. I am in Austin. I
You're
forget.
in
I'm like,
Austin.
when I'm not like in,
Rushing
when I'm not a
Zoom
KWRI, I'm like, this is,
Yeah.
but this is Austin.
Yeah, it's
So,
Round Rock technically,
yeah.
but technically it is Austin,
This is great.
So it's great.
It's
So
great.
in Austin, live from Austin.
And there's
at
a
the Keller.
pool outside.
There's a pool and we're going to hit the water slides right after
Slides
this.
and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But it's Red Day, guys. And Red Day has been around a long time. I believe it started in 2009. And it's renew, energize, and donate. So we have 3 different things going on. So please plug in, guys. It feels so good. It's not like the only day you give back, but it's the one day a year Keller
What
Williams,
you focus on.
right? But together,
Mhm.
globally,
It's so cool.
there's
Yeah.
such a power. So you'll see things in Mexico, Turkey, South Africa, New York, New Jersey, California, Austin, Texas. And think of the energy of that.
Oh, yeah, you see all these red shirts, t-shirts and everything. It's so
It's
cool.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Kids, adults, like
it's amazing.
grandparents.
I
everything.
know.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. So
Mm.
please participate. So we have different options for you guys. So hopefully, I know rain is on the forecast there. So Chase, you want to talk about the red day for the Southwest?
Yeah, absolutely. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Okay, awesome, good. So Brandon Bernstein has been so incredibly generous to do this, and during Red Day from noon to 5, or if we sell out, by the way, because we'll probably sell out. I know we will, Brandon. He's going to barbecue brisket and ribs at the Southwest Market Center, and this will all be sponsored by Tracy Blair from TNT Title. All of those proceeds are going to benefit Community First, which is where Southwest Market Center is going to be hosting their Red Day. So come get some brisket before you go over to Community First. If you're a 1 to 4 p.m. shift, and even after, come back to the Market Center and have some barbecue with us as well. So it's really exciting. So thanks, Brandon, for doing that for us.
I love it. I love it. Sounds awesome. And here's what we're doing at the North. And I believe there's something very similar, like a barbecue at Lake Travis. We just did not get the information, but I'm sure you've been blasted from your team leaders and your team, but we're doing something different at the North. And again, you're welcome to come to any of these guys. We're one team. This is the beautiful thing, right? Is now
Cool.
we're really coming, like by fall, we should all really just be one team.
And
which
this
was-
barbecue.
And it's barbecue.
That's it. Come on.
What our lunch
Yeah.
is actually the North.
Ooh,
So
that'd be different.
it could be
Special.
tacos. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing a little bit different at now originally. So Community First was originally the plan. Is that still happening, or
That is,
so
yeah.
Community First is still happening?
Community First is still happening. So if you've registered for Community First, times are from 9 to noon, and then 1 to 4 are the 2 different times that you can volunteer. And we're excited to have you guys there. We've built 3 houses at Community
Oh, yeah.
First.
That's
It's
so cool.
a transitional village for homeless folks where, as y'all all know, where they rent these properties and work on the land. And it's just an incredible
Yeah.
place to be.
Changes
And,
lives.
It does.
It changes lives. And we've been helping Community First for many years. I love that we go there. So here's what and I knew that you were doing that. So I wanted to make sure we didn't miss that. The barbecue's great. And we're also giving back. So what we're doing at the North is, here's the deal is we know we have a big homeless population in Austin, big time. And it was really bad for a while because city council had approved public camping. And so literally it was a really bad problem. We found out there's a statistic that says 60% of homeless people went through foster care at some point in their life. And actually 80%, this is a new stat, 80% of people incarcerated in prisons were in foster care. So how do we get ahead of the problem? And there's a nonprofit in Austin called Austin Angels.
Wow.
And they support foster kids. So we're like, well, how can we get ahead of it? So 2 years ago, we really supported them at a huge level, helped like 400 kids, tons of mentorship. So we decided this year we were going to go back to Austin Angels, and our goal is to help 50 kids. So we're doing a little bit different. The morning from 9 to 11:30, we'll be loving on those kids. We can't see the kids, but we're going to love them the way we know how, which is the safe, distant way. But it's so powerful. And we'll have the founder there, and she's now all over the country, by the way. Austin Angels has now become a national, she's launching these, and it's changing kids' lives. You know, when kids turn 18 years old and they age out of the foster care system, they get $1,000. That's it. And good luck to you. Even though most of them could get a full degree, full-time free scholarship to go to college, they end up on the streets, they end up in sex trafficking, all horrible things. So we want to get it in front of the cause. And so Austin Angels is really, really involved with that. So we're looking for mentors. Kids that are teenagers, they need mentors. So that's something you could volunteer 1 hour a week. It's a year commitment.
Yeah.
We need people like that. And you are good people. And a lot of you are like, well, I don't maybe have money that I can give, but I could give my time. And imagine if every child could feel you mean something, you're special, could change our whole world.
Wow.
So we love Austin Angels.
That's so powerful.
Isn't that powerful? So the morning, it'll be all about them. Then we're doing lunch too. And I'm sad to say, I do not know what it is. So we'll just leave that to surprise. And then we decided to do a red day take two. So all of you are invited. So take two is we're pouring into you guys. So all afternoon, we're going to do lunch, and then afternoon will be at the Northwest Market Center. All of this is at the new location at 9606 North Mopac, 9th floor penthouse level. And it's all going to be about you. We're going to talk about mental health. I have my personal therapist coming for 30 minutes talking about the power of mental health. We're going to work on your core values. We're going to play some games, have giveaways. We have a massage person there giving away free massages. It's going to be amazing. We're going to do a body flow. I know all the men are like,
Wow.
yeah, sign me
That
up.
sounds great.
So we're going to spend the morning pouring into our community, and we want to spend the afternoon pouring into you guys. So again, that's open for everyone. So we'd love to see you join us. So if you do your work, community service, have your barbecue, and come hit us up at the North. Then we're going to end with the ALC wind down and just some fun stories from the ALC of what they're experiencing. So.
And listen, guys, we're all one. So this
We
is
are.
really a great opportunity to mix and mingle with different folks from around the city too.
Amen. So we're very excited. Okay, guys. Now, one of the things here, I was just telling you about our new partners in Austin.
Yeah,
You know, we
so
got
cool.
Jason. How cool is that?
That is cool. Yeah.
Jason Abrams. I mean, he's leading this whole thing. Jason and Mark are leading this whole event. Okay, guys. And those are our new partners in Austin.
That's really cool. Like call them up. Hey, I need some help. Let's go. Get over here.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
need they would if we needed it. But once a month, Jason comes to the market centers, each location, all 3 locations, to do a monthly mastermind.
That's really cool.
If you had that in your market center, would every agent show up?
They better.
They better, right?
They better.
So tell our agents how important Jason Abrams is
Oh,
to
no,
their business.
well, I think when you get a thought leader like that really, I think he probably spends more time with Gary Keller than anybody I know. I mean, he's like the brainchild, like really, he's like the brainchild of Gary. So like,
Yeah.
to me, it's just listening because you're really listening to Gary.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
So, yeah, I mean, I
Totally.
would show up because you're going to get nuggets that'll help you in business and or life. So
Yeah.
that's a no brainer.
I'm so lucky. I feel like we feel so lucky that we get exposure to him.
Yeah.
Leslie.
You spend it.
So
Yeah.
we, sometimes when it's in your backyard, you don't know how great it is though. That's why.
Just like you guys having they should be like, right. It should be,
Yeah.
everyone should be on these calls.
I know, right? I
yeah.
know everyone should be here because it's such great content. So anyway, so please sign up for those. Okay, then here's another really great. Now, Dan Ihara, right?
That's awesome.
Oh man, he's awesome. He's one of the top agents in the company. He's out of Hawaii. He's a top listing agent. You've heard him on stage. He's leading the whole KW Planner series. Well, he's doing a tour and he said, I'm coming to Austin and I want to come do this for free because we got it sponsored. So he's coming to the Northwest Market Center. We'll be in the Goosehead space for this one, which is beautiful, 9th floor, right across the hall from us. And it's all about getting more listings through real estate planning. So maybe somebody have you been to his classes at all?
I haven't, but I heard a lot.
Oh my gosh, you need to get him to your region.
Yeah.
We did it last year at Southwest.
Yeah, and he's done it at North
we
too.
packed the room, and
Oh,
so, yeah.
amazing, right? I learned so much because it's like 1031.
1031s are,
Oh.
that's a no brainer, especially if you're investing in real estate.
Totally, right? And a lot of people are sitting on, well, everybody's sitting on equity right now, unless you bought in the last year, right? It's like-
Especially if you're in Austin
especially if you're in Austin.
or Southern Florida.
Or there, which is
really
your
good
other
there.
place, right?
Yeah, it's
So
really good there.
yeah, so come now. I think there's about 20 seats left, guys. So go and we can put that in the chat. Thank you, Andrea
dropping
and
it in the
Chase. I'll
chat.
put things in the chat. That is a great class. I promise you will be so smart from that. I wish we had a bigger room and you could all attend, but it's capped out. So make sure you get your seat for that. So we just want to bring you this. This is another strategy for you to compete out in the field with something you may not have considered. And I promise you, you will also be smarter yourself for your own, like building trusts and wills and why that's important and how to move money and have tax strategies and things like that. Very high level class. So worth your time. And then for those of you, QL Summit for Kids.
I just text my whole office to get those friends, kids, nieces, nephews, like if you could spend a day with Gary Keller,
Yeah.
done, just done.
Just done.
And you guys
right?
have lived here.
I
so
know,
It's not even a flight for
It's
you,
not even
for
a
your
flight, it's
folks.
not a hotel, it's not you
Yeah.
worrying about what are they doing in the
Yeah.
evening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, kids, think about the mind of an 18 to 28-year-old. And to be able
I
to
wish I
listen,
had that.
I know, right?
Wish
I
had
know.
that.
And we all do. We've all had it much later in life, like, and I'm a QL. Are you a QL instructor?
I am not.
Okay, so I love teaching this. Wendy Papasan teaches it, but there's something about Gary, right? Because Gary wrote
Oh.
QL. I mean, there's just nothing like it. I've sent both my sons, and when I sent my oldest one there, and he's like, "Mom, you Gary Keller, whatever," right? Because he's seen me be a team leader for 15 years. He's like, "What's with this Gary Keller guy?" He came home that night. He's like, I get it. I get it. That guy's really smart.
I love that. Can't wait to
And-
get my daughter there.
Yeah.
She's almost there. She's
Okay, almost there. So it's a real gift. Like I gave it as a graduation gift last year to my other son's best friend. But think about that it's once a year and it's every June. So that's a wonderful gift, a wonderful way for you to reach out to your database. It has nothing to do with real estate, guys. It has everything to do with life. And I'll tell you what, if you're like me and I have 19 and 22-year-olds who were teenagers all through COVID, there's a lot of issues in these kids these days. The world has changed. The battles they face with social media and things like that. It's a different world that they live in than just what we lived. It's very different. So for them to get the confidence and the life purpose and get why that matters at an earlier age,
That's so true.
it's so powerful, right? So anyway, so that's why we share this stuff. We're not selling things. We want you to make a difference in people's lives. We want to help you make a difference in your life. And so your kids first, take care of yourself first, but then also your database, right? So wonderful opportunity. And the other thing is, okay, so this Mega Leadership Camp is a new thing, right? Like just started last year. So they've divided it. Used to all be together at Mega Camp in August, and now we do it in May here at the Kalahari. And then Mega Agent Camp is all about the agents. It's all about the agents. So you can sign up already. And again, remember, the closer it gets to the date, the more expensive it gets.
Sign up now.
So now would be a good time.
Yeah.
And everyone who goes, like, I have so many stories again and again of people who go there and just say it changed, this one idea, this one referral they got changed everything. But you have to show up for these things. You have to show up. It takes you to show up. We can open the doors. I always tell people all the time, they say, Melanie, you changed my life. I say, I didn't change your life. You changed your life. You probably get that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I just opened doors. You went through the door. You did the
Are you
work.
listening now?
Yeah, exactly.
listening now.
It's the ones that listen and
Yeah.
implement, right?
Might be in a room, but now you're listening.
Now you're ready and you're ready to hear it,
Yeah.
right? You're ready to hear it. So this is something I used to fly into Austin for when I ran the Reno office. And when I was an agent, I would fly in for this. And so the fact that we get to drive there, what an opportunity. I know everybody that's been there. If you've been to Mega Camp, put it in the chat and tell us your thoughts on Mega Camp, because that's a no-brainer. And it's going to be here before you know it. So just wanted to mention that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and
I was like, who's that guy?
Who's that guy? I don't know. Is that an old picture?
Oh, that's pretty new.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think
it's not a real estate. It's not a real estate one. Like, like 15 years ago. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's like, that's within like,
I love it.
It's a year. Yeah,
That's
it's a good
awesome.
year.
Okay, so let me stop sharing and just let's talk. Now we got chasing and I got we're gonna pin us. Okay, there we go. Like this
light is.
this light is terrible. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are much better looking than this.
I agree.
right?
You
This
you
is-
look good. I think it's like
I know.
my age is showing now. I'm like, oh my God, I am getting older.
We're very humble. It doesn't matter because
Yeah.
we're here to talk about a message that you need to hear today, because I asked John to come when I thought, I'm going to be in a room with leaders from all across the world. I mean, Turkey's here.
Yeah.
I've seen Portugal.
I was sitting and talking to the girl who leads South Africa.
South Africa's
Yeah.
here. Mexico, all these leaders, they flew here to be here. It's just like for Mega Camp too. And I laugh, well, our agents won't drive there. You guys will, because you're here on the call. So I know I'm not talking to you guys.
This is the good group.
This is the good group. These
Yeah,
guys all get A+.
Yeah.
So I asked, who could I have? Who's in that room with me? Who's in that room with me? Because I didn't want to not have this meeting. I said, who can we go live with you and share some inspiration, some motivation? So that's why I asked John. And again, he recently wrote this book, Leaving Six Figures by John Clidy. But I want to introduce who he is. We're going to talk a little bit about the book. And again, if you want to learn more, please go to episode 8 on my podcast, the second half, and listen. I listened again this weekend. I was like, God, this is a really good interview. Like
Okay.
I have to say
I love that.
you had so much good
Yeah.
content in there. And I love doing the podcast because I get to meet get to know so many people at a better level. And then we'll take it wherever we want, because his team has done a bunch of business. He's a divisional leader within Keller Williams. So he has a lot of perspective. And I think we're in really interesting times right now
Mhm.
in so many ways, right? And it's impacting people. They either have fear or they're fearless. And that's the difference between people getting into action or not.
That's so true.
Right.
And I think you said it earlier, I think COVID's changed things. And I think we're not giving ourselves a lot of credit. I mean, that was a tough time
Yeah.
for like the toughest people,
Oh, yeah.
and I think it's okay to feel like, overwhelmed. And today we were talking, Dusty was talking, one of the bold leaders, and he was just saying like, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah,
Like, this is the time, and
it is okay
and
to
reach
ask
out
for
to
help.
people that, that you trust them
Yeah.
and let them know, hey, I need some help.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is not going good.
It's not. And so if
Yeah.
you are one of those people and it's not going well for you, just know there's only, we are a safe place and we are here for you because I know there's always a way. There's always a way to get you into action because usually it's just more like you're in that playing not to lose thing instead of the playing to win and life's happening and are we going to what did he just say? He said, are you going to the urgent problems or the big or no, are you focusing on the urgent or the big things? Remember that conversation
Yeah, I was
Dusty was
trying to
just
think
saying?
what
It
you were
was a
saying.
shoot. I meant to have that note with me, but it's like, if you're just like putting out fires all the time, which is what you do in real estate, you have to do it. But if you're not slowing down to think about the big things, like what is that system, that hire I need to make, like a new, admin or whatever, then you're not going to change anything or I just need a system to call 5 people a day or whatever that is for you. But you have to think of the big things and not get lost in just the urgent little things. I thought that's such a great
Well,
reminder.
yeah, I mean, like if you think for a realtor or for you guys, right? It's lead gen.
It is.
And
lead
if
gen.
you're putting out fires,
Mhm.
probably not lead genning, right? Because you're
Exactly.
putting out fires, and same
Yeah.
thing for an agent. If that's all you're doing is dealing with, customer service issues and not doing any more customer acquisition,
Right.
well, then eventually you don't have any business.
Exactly.
So
Take a
that's,
picture of you.
oh, wow. Hey,
And John in the house. Well, let me read your bio or at least about the author. So John Clidy comes from the heart of working class America. From the time he was old enough to swing a hammer, he worked with his dad in the family roofing business, returning during the summertime and school breaks as he pursued his education. His hot roofing is a physically demanding job. Add in the fact that many of John's co-workers were convicted felons given a second chance after serving time. It's easy to see how life experience molded the young man. This was no union job and guaranteed benefits and money. This was hard labor employment. John learned about hard work and hard knocks at the sun-baked, tar-topped roofs of New Jersey homes. Reflecting on those days, John says, the lessons were clear to me. I learned exactly what I did not want to do. Unfortunately, I learned another lesson in college that I was not going to play professional football. After 2 season-ending surgeries, it became clear that I must develop a great career, one that did not depend on my athletic abilities. And I think it's kind of like, what I've been doing forever is not going to get me where I want to go. And I think you can apply that to real estate too. Today, John Clidy wears many business hats. He's the operating principal. Oh, here's where the numbers are. Operating principal of Keller Williams Realty, Washington Township. He opened the office in 2012 and has expanded from starting his sales team of 6 agents to nearly 400 agents.
600 now.
600 agents
Yeah.
since, and this was just printed, like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
we grew, 18 months.
That's amazing. Regional director of the Greater Pennsylvania region, which covers 3 states, which is New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, and consists of nearly 11,000 agents in 49 market centers.
45 now.
Okay, well, we're
We
a lot of
merged it
merging,
all,
a lot
so,
like
yeah,
Austin,
yeah.
right? We get smart and
Yeah.
investor in 5 other market centers
That's
inside
9.
that's 9 now. And he runs the Clidy Group, the home of your real
Yep.
estate team, right?
Someone else runs that now.
Right, but you're the
I'm
owner,
still-
right? So
still
you're,
the owner.
okay,
Yep,
full
yep.
owner. You began in 1999 and John's award-winning real estate team has sold 3,000 plus units.
We sold more than that. but
Okay, well, yeah.
The
'cause
numbers are,
they're all,
all
but
there.
it's still impressive. Over $400 million in sales. And he's flipped over 100 homes and holds over 7 million. Well, now with the
12
market
million.
going up, over 12 million in real estate assets. That's fun. We just highlight that. Real estate wasn't his only career. John Clidy retired as a detective sergeant from the New Jersey State Police, having given 17 years of service. He walked away 3 years shy of vesting a pension for life to pursue his dream. Today, his KW profit share surpassed his pension. That's why you'd be such a great
That's cool.
interview on that.
That is cool.
As the author of this book, John achieves another aspect of his dream, using his story to help others live a life by design.
Yeah, I would never said all that. So
That's
it's good that you
amazing.
said it because
D-
I would have skipped. My wife said, just skip to the details. Let's go to the,
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
main thing.
no, we're talking about
Yeah,
all that.
it's
We're
good.
talking about that.
We need to hear.
Yeah.
We need to hear that. And why it's like, how are you looking at this? And I think you think about a lot of people are dual career, right? And so I love that, and you call it dual
Someone
career.
said 50% of our agents have another something going on.
Another
a side hustle, of some
or
sort.
50%. Wow.
Could be more.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was like probably when I was doing more research for the book, probably
Yeah.
a couple years, 2.5, 3 years ago. But I mean, a lot of people have
Right.
something going on.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But to walk away from a pension, and I think it's just like taking a stand for a better life, right? Like taking a stand for a better life. So 3 years away from this pension where it would have been pretty good money for the family, you walked in and you just said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Mhm.
And I love the story about, and you'll have to read the book. It's a great book, but he talks about one day you're in, the break room or something. You're like, don't do what I did, but what you had in your pocket,
Oh, the $100,000
the
day.
$100,000 day.
Yeah.
And so he had $100,000 of checks in his pocket, and they were giving him kind of a hard time about being dual career. And, oh, what's this real estate thing? All the
Landlord doing
Yeah,
this real
landlord,
estate
this and
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
and he's like, boom. And he shows them like, this is what I did today. And they never teased you again after that though, right? Or did they tease you more?
No, that's when I started getting treated, they treated me different, right? Now it's like, at first it was messing with me. Then it's like, oh, how dare you?
Oh, then
And
it
I
became,
didn't,
are you
listen,
even working?
and that's not my,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm not a show off guy or whatever.
Oh, no,
But-
he's very
but,
humble.
but they were messing with me all the time about like, and,
Yeah.
and I thought I was like helping them. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, really, like in my mind, I didn't do this, but in my mind, I'm like, really, like you should do it. Like, I know like, Jim, you're struggling with to pay your bills and I know you got divorced and you need help with money. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you should be doing this.
Right.
Like, but
Because it was a lot of investment stuff, right?
yeah, I mean, I also, I owned properties. I
Yeah.
was doing stuff that I was taught by people before me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wanted to help them. I don't think I did it the right way that day,
Yeah.
but
Well, sometimes, when you get, you fall for the traps people set you up for.
yeah.
But think about that. And then it's like, you could have stayed on that job for 3 more years and had this pension, right?
Mhm.
But you also could have lost your life. Because that's not a job that's just like, not a risk averse job.
Yeah, and honestly, I actually interviewed, so I have a podcast and I interviewed a
Yeah.
guy that,
Which is called Leaving Six Figures. Right?
podcast, yeah.
The podcast
Leaving,
is, right?
Leaving Six Figure Stories.
Okay, stories.
And I
Okay.
interview people similar to me. And I interviewed for the first time, actually, in my thing, I interviewed a guy that actually was a cop. Everyone else was
Oh.
like something different, like
Okay.
different roles or different places, whatever. And his story was so eerily like mine. He was in Miami,
Okay.
like downtown Miami, which is crazy and a lot of stuff going on. He
Oh,
had
yeah.
great stories,
Yeah.
but he was very similar. I think his timeline was like mine, and he had the same thing where he felt uncomfortable in that space anymore. Like, I think when your mindset changes, and that goes for anybody, right? Like
Yeah.
you start becoming a different person because of the experiences.
Yeah.
So when I was just a state trooper, I was kind of state trooper. When I started becoming more of a business guy, I was like a different person. And then when I went with them, I felt weird. That makes sense? Like, I was like, I don't know if this is my tribe anymore.
Exactly.
This doesn't feel right.
Like, is this still my room, right? Is this
Yeah.
still the room that I should be in, right? Yeah. And you think about that because it's kind of a decision that you make too, because if you're one of those people, you're either having a lot of success right now, or maybe you're not. Maybe everything changed, right? So every decision or move that we make is yours to make, right? It's yours to make. So I just want you to know that we do design our lives, and we do, we did the exercise in the room just now, like we do in Bold, where it's like draw 2 circles, and on one side you have your business, and on the other side you have your personal life. And rate yourself. Where are you right now? Like 10 being like, oh my gosh, at night, I'm so excited. I can't wait to go to sleep and wake up and start the day again. And I'm just fulfilled in everything that I do in my business. And then same with your personal life. And you rate yourself in both categories, and then you multiply those and you come up with a number. And my number was pretty low, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, surprisingly, because I got really real with myself. I've had a lot of transition in my life, but I do it because you want the baseline. I know it surprises you, right? Because I'm pretty disciplined, or I'm very disciplined. I'm very intentional about everything I do. And I've made some really bold moves in my life
Mhm.
because I want a different life now. And so I say that number is like lower than I'd like it to be. I mean, it's not terribly low. And I know though, that next time I do this a year from now, it'll be very different. Most people on the call know that I'm going through I left my marriage at 25 years a year ago. And so it's all this, my empty nester, right? So
Yeah,
this
that's a lot.
there's a lot going on in my life, new partners in Austin, right?
Wow.
And so there's a lot going on. So I'm redefining myself, and what value do I bring to our people, and what fulfills me in life. And so all this is connected. So the fact that John would walk away from this, something he was really good at, something he knew, to go to something bigger. I just wanted to share his story a little bit, and then we'll open it up to Q&A and stuff. But I love how it says, are you working at a job or in a career that you don't love? Has this been your reality for years? Have you hated what you do? Do you year after year feel increasingly trapped in the wrong job? I was that person who did not like what I did. I did not love what I did. It took 17 years after I decided I wanted to leave before I took the leap. When I did, I walked away from a guaranteed government pension. Yes, you read that right. I left a state pension on the table. Only 3 years shy of vesting the pension, I tendered my resignation. Why did it take so long? Waiting for 17 years easily cost me millions. I knew as every year passed that I was giving up huge potential earnings. Why? It was fear. I was a cop, so you know that admitting fear is not always easy. Fear, worry about losing the false security of a job, fear of the unknown, doubt that I could make it happen, even though I clearly saw the way forward. So in this book, he shares stories about his life and going from student athlete to becoming a leader. But the question he asks is, are you doing what you want to do in life? And if not, what's stopping you? We only get one life. Why not enjoy it? Let's make sure you live your life by design. You should not be stuck in a life where you wake up every morning dreading the day. It's journey time. We are doers. Let's go, which is your thing.
Yeah, I love let's go.
Let's go. You say it all the time. Join me in this time of the journey, and I'll show you the way to your success. And he shares kind of his journey along the way. One of the things, though, that I really, really love is
Just hearing those words is funny because
Yeah.
it brought me back to me writing it
yeah.
on the plane. Like I used to write on airplanes
Oh,
back
yeah.
and forth. So I was
Okay.
just sitting there and I
And you
brought me
wrote
back
that.
because
Wow.
I've been doing a lot of talks like this, but I haven't actually dove into the book for a
Yeah.
while. So that's just cool.
Yeah, I've read it a couple
Thank you
times.
for
Yeah.
that.
Oh my gosh, I love this book. There's so many good nuggets in here. There's one
Well,
thing.
it's a workbook.
It's a
Really,
workbook.
I call it WOOK, right?
Yeah.
A WOOK, a working book. But I mean, that it's for someone, maybe someone here that's like doing something they don't love to do. Maybe the real estate's that,
Yeah.
and there's no shame to that. I tell people all the time, like at the end of the day, life's too short not to be happy. If COVID taught us anything,
Yeah.
like let's be happy.
You know what? Let's talk about that, because you talked about that on the podcast too. What, like, tell us more about that. I love that concept of, there's financial and there's personal, but being happy. Tell us why that matters, you think?
Well, this Keller Williams, right? Austin, you guys know, but I mean,
Yeah.
to think this most simplistic thing that I think we all would resonate with is the one thing, the book.
Mhm.
And it talks about the balls, right? The rubber balls and the glass balls. And the rubber balls, is the job, right? And maybe your workout regimen and all that. And then the glass balls is your relationship with your children, your parents, your spouse. Those things, you kept messing with those things and you drop them. You can't pick those pieces up sometimes. So you can't glue them back together.
Yeah.
So, I think for me was I was successful at this or successful at that, but I wasn't all the time successful in my marriage, or I wasn't all the time successful as a trooper,
Mhm.
or I wasn't all the time successful for my customers as a
Yeah.
realtor.
Right.
And I had to make the decision, like, what's more important? Is it my family? Is it my happiness? Because I wasn't even happy going there. And I think all of us will have that decision to make in life. Like, am I happy being a realtor, right? Do I like for me, like if I go to another, like if someone calls me about a lockbox ever again, I'm going to scream. Like,
Yeah.
I was like someone calling me at 7 o'clock. My lockbox is off. What happened or whatever,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while, but I mean, it got to the point where I didn't want to talk about lockboxes. I didn't want to figure out who was doing the open house this week.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
And everyone comes to a phase in your life. And I came to a phase in my life, which probably did 10 years in. I didn't leave for 17 years, but at probably year 10, I started to say, wow, I don't really know if I'm going to make it to the end,
Mm.
which was crazy because
Yeah.
no one ever left those jobs.
Yeah.
Like a government job.
Yeah.
I grew up are you nuts?
Well, you said there was a guy, one guy will be like, okay, I have 15 more years to go till my pension. You're like, imagine living your life on a countdown like that of
Well, people did all the time. Like you go, I've heard a kid working somewhere. He was telling me I'm an accountant firm, and he's like, yeah, I got 22 years left. I'm like, oh my God, imagine being somewhere that you're talking,
it's like a
you
sentence.
just got it. It should be like honeymoon phase, right?
Right.
Happy and in love with it.
Yeah.
You're talking about when is my last day there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. So, okay. So when did you get into investing? Like, how did that come into your world?
Oh, I got a good story that I'd like to share with
Yeah,
them
please
too,
do.
but not, I'm going to answer your
Okay,
question
okay.
first. So I got an investment because when I became a realtor, I was started with a small independent.
Mhm.
And that independent, one day I went in his office and I seen like all this money sitting on the table, like cash. And I'm like ready to draw the gun on him. I'm like,
Drug deal
freeze,
going on.
I'm like, get down on your knees, right? And I'm like, Tom, what's all this? Like I'm like asking him, I'm like really thinking like, what's he going to tell me? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm a landlord. I'm like, wow. I was like, man, like all that happened. Like that's from being a landlord. And he said, yeah, he's like, I own this, I own the one next door, I own down here. I'm like, that's so cool. And I was like, tell me, show me, like, and then the rest is history. I mean, read the book. There's like,
Yeah.
he did something really weird that made me
Yeah.
leave that office, but
Yeah.
he did open my eyes up to like, I never even knew. I mean, I didn't grow up with like understanding money like that or even
Yeah.
investing. So he just showed me like you can make money
Mhm.
by owning homes.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know, like, I was like, wow, I really didn't even know that even existed, which
Yeah.
just sounds crazy at
Right.
26 years
Well, the
old.
way you were grown up, I mean, you were raised
Yeah.
in a very modest household, right? And your dad had some tough times in those
Yeah.
early years, and I love that story
They
too.
didn't even go to high school.
Yeah, he didn't even go to high school.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Eighth grade.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay, so he didn't go to high school, and then he did something, got in trouble,
Yep,
ended up
got
on the
locked
wrong
up.
side, he ended up in jail, and then he got out of jail, and instead of like making that repeating behavior, he was an outstanding citizen for, I love how you
Did
explain
great.
that.
Till he died. He's
Yeah,
a great human being. He raised two good kids. My brother does really well too. And
yeah,
my mom has a great life because of what he did.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what like that story from if you knew him before
uh-huh,
to that
yeah.
is cool.
It's really
should be proud. He should be
inspirational. He
proud of
should be
himself.
proud.
Yeah.
And what I love is that when I did the intro, it's like you had the roofing company, the dad had the roofing company, and he would hire these guys no one else would hire who had been in prison because everyone deserves a better chance. So you grew up around that.
Well, I told him stories later, like when you're older and you feel like you
Yeah.
can tell your dad. So I was like,
Right.
if you knew the stuff, like they're like drinking on the roof and they were
Yeah.
exposing me to it. They're like, here, have a 40. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that sounds great. I'm like 16 years old. I'm like,
Yeah.
but
No
that were
complaints over here,
that were the guys that we were around. And I mean, they wouldn't come in, and like I find out they were locked up, or they, one guy actually, someone killed his son.
Oh my
So he
gosh.
killed the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
So he went away for,
Mhm.
I mean, really, I mean, these are
Revenge
nice. I got to know them like sitting on the roof for hours and hours. I mean, they were
Yeah.
nice people
Yeah.
in just bad environments.
Yeah. Yeah. And what that says so much though, to your dad and his leadership and role model.
Yeah.
About how you can change your life. How you can change your life. And his dad changed his life, and then he helped other people change their lives. It's kind of like Ed Milet. I love all his stuff
Oh,
now,
yeah.
right? How he talks about your hardships or whatever you have from your past. That's actually what defines,
It helps you.
it gives you your purpose now. It makes you exactly valid to help somebody else, right? So what's that story you wanted to say?
Yeah. And it's just what you just said about helping someone. So I had a girl that leads my team. I sat down with her one day, and I don't know where it came out. I was just like, so what do you want? Like, I was just like, what do you want in life? Like, what's important to you? And out of that conversation, she said, hey, I think I should tell you this. She was like, I did that exercise you talked about, like kind of like a net worth thing or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like not crying because she's like really stoic, but she was like, I have a net $75,000 net worth. And she's 60 years old, doesn't own her home, used to own a business, husband, contractor or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, a really like a good person, grew up, in a good area, dad was a big time builder, and she was embarrassed of it. And at that point I said, well, you know what, we're in this together. So I said to her, I said, well, why don't we do this? I said, we're going to get you a house in the next, I said, 12 months, let's change your life. Let's figure out a way to get you to purchase a house, because she had some credit things that she had to clean up. And I said, and also let's find a way to get you some cash so we can reverse that, your negative net to a positive.
Oh,
net.
so it was a negative 75,000.
Negative 75,000.
Oh, she was net negative. I missed
Yeah.
that part. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think online,
Yeah.
I think it was like 200,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she had
Yeah.
a lot of bad debt. So,
Sure.
so what we did was, I said, what you should do, and this is right before COVID. So this is the important part of the story. Right before COVID, I'm thinking like January, I said, you go find a house, a flip or whatever. I'll finance it. I'll pay for the rehab or whatever, and we'll split the profit.
Yeah.
What do you think she did?
Did you do it?
No, she procrastinated.
Oh,
And then I don't know if you guys know what happened with COVID.
yeah.
And then after COVID, what happened? The market.
Mm-hmm. What, like skyrocketed? Yeah.
So I asked her, I said, do you believe like if you just listened to me and
Gosh.
focused on it,
Yeah.
like you probably would have had, like both of us would have lucked out.
Yeah.
So then I had that conversation in May or June. And I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you again. I will help you,
Yeah.
but you need to help yourself. And I told her, I said, you need to get the comps, you need to find contractors. I will put all the money out. So you have the money and
Wow.
we will split it. Make a long story short, she eventually did it. She got focused on it. Since then, we've flipped 3. She purchased a home and now she is plus $110,000. So
From fearful to fearless.
From
Yeah.
fearful to fearless. I love that. That's a
yeah,
great
her and her
story.
husband own a home. We made a couple, and we're buying like probably 130,000 she made, and we're buying one on the 12th, another one.
Oh my God. I love that so much. And you think about, well, that's not me, or I can't do. Yes, you can. There are great people around you. I mean, we have wealth building sessions going on at the different market centers all the time, like how you can get in. It doesn't have to all be you. Maybe it's going in with other people, whatever, like this. I mean, what a gift that is.
Well,
though.
you know what? The thing is that I would tell anyone that's here is don't just give someone an MLS listing and
Yeah.
say, hey, give me the money.
Yeah.
No one's going to do it.
Yeah.
Like show them why, like put together a package like you care and say, hey, here's the property. Here's 3 comps or 4 comps. Here's the contractor's estimate. This is what I think I can make you. And this is what I would want for myself or whatever. Like just have initiative. And you'd be shocked if someone like money is like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And let's do it.
Yeah.
And if someone, the first one says no, ask 2 more people. Like, I think people give up so quick.
Yeah.
Like, even people like to me that I'll say no to, I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm like, you probably asked me like a different way or spin it wrong. Like, I'm not telling them that, but in my mind, I'm like, just thinking as a leader, I'm like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you try like
Right.
harder?
Right.
It baffles me.
So, oh, I love that. So it's like, find that way. So if you don't have the means to do that, that shouldn't be what holds you back. Right. And I love that so much. And I love, so are you mostly in your investments? Do you do a lot of, cause it was so funny. One of the stories in the book, and if you read it, which I hope you do, you talk about, you're like on a SWAT mission or something like that. And you're on one of your, you what?
I was in Camden, New Jersey.
In Camden, New Jersey, and they're like, scouting at a house and he sees something and you're like, oh, that'd be a good investment or something, right?
Yeah, we just literally, I was on the shoot team and we heard shots fired, like literally like a block away, and we're like, and we went there, and unfortunately the young man was shot and killed on like the stoop. So they sent us like down the block, really in Rutgers, Camden, nice area in downtown, but it's not a good area around there. But we went there and did a house like a brownstone, and as we go in, just 4 of us, and we go in to kind of enter the house to look for the bad guy. I'm like looking around like, wow, this is a nice brownstone. I'm like, and I should be thinking like, our bad guy, gun, could kill me,
could
could kill us.
could be shot.
I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
brownstone, a lot of value if I get it. I could flip it. Like, I'm thinking like I could rent it out. Like, I'm thinking all those things instead of thinking like, how do I protect myself?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
which is what I should have
Exactly.
been doing.
That's, yeah. And I just thought that's so funny, because it just showed you that you had your mind, like the opportunities are around you at all times. Right. And so, yeah, that's really cool. I love that. I love that. Okay. So I want to read another excerpt, and then I want to talk a little bit of just how people, and I want to open up if you have any questions for him too, but just, because he wears a lot of hats. He has his own team. He's a divisional, one of the highest leaders you can be in Keller Williams. And then such a great story. I love his journey. So I hope you're enjoying getting to know a little bit more about him. But I love this part of your book.
Like that cool.
I love it so much. And it said, imagine you had a bank account that deposited $86,400 each morning. The account carries over no balance from day to day, allows you to keep no cash balance, and every evening removes whatever part of the amount you have failed to use during the day. You can tell they're for break because everybody's
Everyone's
like,
coming
it's
through.
loud, and just
Yeah.
ignore the interruptions. So what would you do? draw out every dollar each day, of course, right? Because you want to spend it. You're like, oh, if I got to spend it, it's going to go to zero. I'm going to use it, right? So we all have such a bank. Its name is time. Every morning, it credits you with 86,400 seconds. Every night, it writes off as lost whatever time you have failed to use wisely. There's never any borrowing time. You can't take a loan out on your time against someone else's. That time you have is the time you have, and that is it. Time management is yours to decide how you spend the time. Your money works the same. You decide how to spend your money. Don't be satisfied with the success stories of others. Write your own. Unfold your tale and bring it to life. You have everything you need to become what you can become.
That shows you when people say, why would you leave 3 years shy of a pension? That right there. Because if I miss another Christmas because I'm being a cop, or I miss another Thanksgiving time sitting with my kids or whatever, or like you realtors, right? I mean, how many, for some of you, missed maybe their class day or daddy-daughter dance or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you were, doing a listing that you didn't even get, or you were doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Life's too short. Like, your priorities need to be in order. And I think if you wealth build and you have a business, not a self-employed, but a business, you could schedule it the way you want. But when you're a state trooper, driving 2 hours one way, 4 hours both ways, and you're there for 41, 42 hours. No, I mean, I had a good job, on paper that, gave me a car, gave me benefits and everything, but I had to live that life, and I decided that wasn't the life I wanted to live anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So, okay. So now you can see why I wanted him to be the guest, because he's super inspirational. And I hope that you're getting something out of this. I know that people are saying very inspirational,
We got some
powerful
gifts
stuff.
too.
We do. We have 3 books we're going to give away.
Yeah.
And
we'll
so
sign 'em.
John's going to sign them for you. So if you would like to be in the drawing, I will do the drawing while Chase does the numbers for you guys before we wrap up. You must be present to win. Put your name in the chat if you would like to win one of these autographed books. Just go ahead and put your name in the chat.
I think it's good too, the book, for people like you have friends that are dual career or school teacher, or even like I've had wives that were in bad situation that want to get out.
Yeah.
And I said, I think you can still follow the same plan
Right.
to get your money right and get your plan
yeah.
right. So I love it.
And it's never too late, right? It's never too late to start focusing on that, because every inch is incremental. So we have a lot of people I'll be putting all your names in for a drawing here shortly when we do the numbers with Chase. Okay. So let's talk a little bit to our group here about you lead a lot of people, like 11,000.
Well, more, because I lead all the divisions now.
Oh my gosh. So how far
Which is I lead South Texas.
What?
Yeah, it's in my region now. It's one of my regions. Yeah, 'cause,
Okay, awesome.
Bruce
So
Kinks
he's
and
part of
Wendy.
us then.
Yeah,
Okay, so he's part of us, which you already were, but now even more so.
Now, we're
family.
really partners.
Really connected.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to our group a little bit, and this is where I'll open up for Q&A if anybody has some questions. Because you work with a lot of different talented people, and we're seeing similar things all around the country. So it's not, and what we're seeing in Austin is not Austin specific. I mean, it's it's unique in the way that it's happening everywhere, all the stuff we're seeing, right? How are you helping, or what are you seeing the people that are really doing and having success and the ones that aren't? What do you think is making the difference for them?
I know it sounds corny and cliche, but I think the first thing is mindset. Having the right mindset, meaning you understand your strengths and weaknesses, you understand what's important to you. I think you just got to ask yourself a question like, what am I good at? What am I bad? I am not good at anything contractor wise. And my wife learned the other day, she said, put these filters in the air conditioning units, whatever, when she was gone.
Yeah.
She came back. She's like, what did you do? I had it underneath the thing. She said, you didn't even have it in there. I was like, I told you
strengths.
For 18 years with me, that's not my thing. Don't ask me, just go pay for it,
Yeah.
So understand what you're good at, what you're bad at, I think is really important. Being in the right mindset. If you're negative all the time, then it's hard to have that good, I'm a pickleball guy. So
you are a pickleball guy. Did you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I did. I've been good now though.
Okay.
But I think if you're really if you have a bad shot and you sit there and dwell on it, you're going to have another bad shot and you're going to have another one.
It's focused.
But if I just get out of it and say, you know what, bad shot, I'm back. I have a better chance of getting back on the
Yeah.
flow. And I think business or life or whatever, like if me and my wife, we had a little thing, great. Like, one of us has to, all right, great. All right, good. Love you.
Yeah.
Good night or whatever.
Right.
So I think same thing in our business and everything. Like we just got to have the right mindset every day.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing I've learned, even on the highest level leaders,
Mm-hmm.
is accountability.
Okay.
Like, I don't care, like, how talented they are. Accountability is the same for us at the new agent level
Yeah.
and at Mark King's
Mm-hmm.
being the president. I think
Right.
because you can get caught up doing things that don't matter, right? All of us. I mean, I guess I'm sure everyone on this call, right? Like we
Yeah.
do those things that we know that really are not moving the needle, but we do them because they're easier to do.
Yeah.
Lead gen stinks.
Yeah.
Dealing with bad customers, like who wants to do that? Like things that that moves the needle. Like Dusty said, like who wants to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But because it hurts. It's like,
Mhm.
I had a couple
Yeah.
glasses of wine. I don't want to get up.
Right.
But
I'll
it-
sleep a
but-
little bit more.
But when you get done, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went.
Yeah.
I and I think same thing here. Once you do what you should do, oh yeah, this feels good. But you got to do it consistent,
Yeah.
right? So mindset, consistency, and
Yep.
accountability.
Mhm.
If you do that, just 30 days, right? Just 30 days. And that goes for like a budget. Like if you want to save money, like
Yeah.
how much do I spend? Like track your spending for 30 days. Like you'll get some ahas, I promise you.
Yeah.
So I think like little things like that, like don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just little consistency, have the right mindset and do it for like 30 days.
Mhm.
It'll change your life. I really believe that.
I believe that too, because then all of a sudden you have this feeling of winning, right? You're seeing the success, and it's just these little, that's why I love like I know you said 30 days, but like that print out that 66-day
66
challenge.
Yeah.
And you just knock it, every day that you do it, whether it's, go to bed on time or whatever it is, don't get the Starbucks every day and put that towards my investment account or whatever that is. It can be so small, yet so big, so
Well,
powerful.
look at 75 hard. So many people do it.
That's right.
And they track it and they feel so good about it. Like it's like life changing for them
Yeah.
because all it is just forcing yourself to be consistent.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So, okay. So I love that. And the purposeful, the mindset, any other advice that you would have to our group before I open it for Q&A? Or that you would
So
wanna say
I
that we
talked
didn't
about the
cover.
highest level. I thought accountability was important because a lot
Yeah.
of them they hold everyone accountable, but forget
Right.
to hold themselves.
Yep.
On the lower level, like agents that are just starting out, I think, and really, this will be my dual career, my people to have a lot of kids or a lot of things going on in life. Like, no one said you have to work 40 hours a day.
That's right.
So, but when you do work, know when that is. So like,
That's right.
meaning like, so everyone here, right? Let's say you're a dual career, that'd be the best example. And you're like, well, I got my kid, I got all this going on. Awesome. Tell me what this week, how many hours you can dedicate to doing the real estate part of your life. And during that time, just make it productive and make sure you're doing the things that matter. My advice is just don't put so much pressure to do 40 hours of work. Put pressure to do the work when you set out to do it, and hold yourself accountable to the results during that time.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we get so caught up like, well, I'm busy this week or whatever. I don't, just tell me what you can do
Yeah.
this week
Yeah.
and make sure you nail this week.
Yeah.
And then we'll worry about next week.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
Make it simple.
It takes the pressure off. It's like, it sometimes it's overwhelming because it seems so big, but it's just that little incremental inch every day, right?
The most favorite saying me and my partner in the region says is, what's it? Progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Progress, not perfection. I love that. Andrea, I see that you're going to gather all those names. And if you would get that already, then I'll hop to you and we'll
I'm
do
ready.
the,
You're in the wheel. We're ready to roll.
Oh, I got
okay,
a
you
wheel.
are okay. Awesome. So we'll do that right after the numbers. So stay on for the numbers. Okay, let me open it for Q&A. Who has something they would like to ask my fabulous friend, John Clidy? And I'm so excited he snuck out with us from Mega Leadership
I
to be
forgot all
with you
about
today.
Mega Leader. It's all
You know
about
what?
this about this
this is
group,
what
man.
we're
Who
doing
cares
right
about
now.
that?
Mega-
Yeah, who cares?
What you guys got for us? What would you like to know? Anything at all? Now I know you're going to not let me down here because it's like, okay, what you got? Look at these people. They're like, I'm not going to ask anything.
Hey, if no one's going to ask, I'm going to ask. I have a question.
Go for it.
So I want to know, just like from a mindset, I think right now with the shifting market too, and if we've been in real estate, there can also be kind of the mindset of transitioning the markets. So I would love for you to share when you had those moments of you know, what's the of opportunity or slash challenges, right? What's some mindset techniques that you use to kind of go through those struggles and challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think, when you're doing things that make you feel good, like, I don't know if you guys know, but we put music on, right? We put, hey.
It's okay.
We-
Welcome to our
we-
KW
yeah,
Austin
yeah,
live.
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, oh, are
There's
you?
a whole Zoom here. Oh, we're almost done.
Yeah. Well-
Prescott, nice.
Hey, well, hey, everybody, say hi to Stacy and John and all our people at KWU. This is KW Austin here.
Hey, Austin.
Okay, so to answer your question, sorry, guys, we just need like, do you need this room? Are you in the room? We'll be done in like, okay, 7 minutes is all we need. Okay, okay.
What, now
So-
you,
so
they made me
now-
forget
you
my,
forget the question. Andrea.
oh, she did. I know what she said.
Okay, okay.
She was asking about the mindset.
Yes.
And I was saying that you started off and you put the music on and how you got energy.
Yeah.
So I think when you have a negative mindset, I think you
Yeah.
do things that make you have a positive, like, is it music,
Mhm.
being around people that you love, whatever makes you get energy.
Yeah.
Because if you stay in that mindset, that's not what you want, right? You want to get into that positive flow. So I
Right.
think whether it be a good book, a good podcast or something like, or if I'm feeling sorry for myself, I'll put like something on to get that energy up.
Exactly. It changes
Yeah.
everything, right?
And I know it sounds silly, but that works,
It does.
or maybe call your mom or your dad or
Yeah.
someone like
Yeah.
whoever gives you that energy, like, or one of your best friends, like, hey, dude, I need you today, man. Give me some of that
Yeah,
stuff. And they're like,
exactly.
boom, I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
All right, let me go get
exactly.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I started now at home. I have a speaker because I love music. Music's
I
my-
could tell. I could
music's
tell.
my
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I'm a musician background. Like
Yes.
it gets me going. So I carry that speaker around in the morning when I wake up. First thing I do is turn on that speaker and I just put some music on and I get ready and I'm like, my day has started.
But if you didn't put it on that day, you might not feel like you usually do. Like, it's like,
No.
it takes you off your game a little bit, right?
Right.
But when you do it, you're like, all right, let's
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
Let's do
exactly.
this,
Let's
right?
go. That is the thing. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so let's go. Speaking of let's go to well, wait, any other questions? Any other questions?
Did I answer your question too?
Andrea?
Yeah, well, and I think it goes back to the market center and KW community, right? Like if you don't feel you have those people, like there's agents at the office, like plug in. And like you said, find someone to pump you up too. So I think that's an opportunity to also get plugged into your market centers because there's other people who are struggling. Sometimes we just need that, hey, yeah, get me in the zone, pump me up. And so don't hesitate to reach out to market center staff or some of the people you see on the screen if you're ever in that funk.
Well, I've seen your two team leaders here. They got energy and they're great people. So you always, your face off is always the team
Aw.
market center leaders, right?
We love you. And Andrea, we've known for a very long time. She's been on the team and she's one of our coaches. And we just, we're here for you. Okay, let's hop
Always
on
here for you.
space. Let's take it away.
Tons of great information here that I'm going to share with you. And if you're having difficult conversations with your client, you're trying to get them off the fence, right? Let's share some market stats so that you know exactly how to go into those conversations and share the numbers. I'm going to share my screen here with you. And why I'm doing that, I was actually pulling the most current numbers as it relates to the various counties and it being a seller's market versus buyer's market. So hang on just a second so I can see the slides. Okay, so here we're going to start with Travis County. And these are the April numbers. And just to kind of ground foundational, set the tone for these numbers, this is year over year. So April versus April of the last year. And you can see on this stat or on this slide for Travis County, we're down 37% on closed units, down on the average sold price, but up on the average list to sale price.
Case, could you reload your page? It just says loading. We can't see the actual stat page.
Oh, your screen share is paused. Let me see why that's going on. Hang on a minute, guys.
Reshare. I thought it was just mine. So Angel, thank you for saying that.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of funky internet at the Kalahari. They're not known for their internet. They're known for their water slides, apparently.
Water slides are good.
What's funny
They were
is
here,
in-
they would like, they're like,
in your book, I was relooking, you mentioned the Kalahari.
yes.
Isn't that
My
funny?
kids, there's like a little video like at the Kalahari or something. And they're like,
Uh-huh.
it's not there on the video. They're like, tell us, Dad, if that's still there. Because
Oh,
I took
that's
them
funny.
years ago. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's so funny.
yeah.
Okay, it is still kind of giving me a funky screen. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share it with you, just not in full screen share mode, if you don't mind, because I can't seem to get it to share full screen. But anyway, the information is here, and you can obviously see the bar graph as well, where inventory has started to grow. Sales seem to be trending also in alignment with the inventory. So as inventory has grown, sales have gone up a little bit. So we're staying in alignment there. I did look at Travis County, and Travis County in March, we had 3.1 months of inventory, and a balanced market, guys, is at 6 months of inventory. So we're still in a seller's market. Obviously, the inventory has grown. The month prior, we were at 2.6 months of inventory in Travis, and we've grown to 3.1. That all that is telling us is that we're getting into the season of selling, right? We're getting into May, as we started off this call. And with that said, the average over the MSA, or the Metropolitan Statistical Area of Austin, is 3 months of inventory. So Williamson has 2.6 and
Crazy.
Hayes has 3.5. And Bastrop actually is not aggregated for the Texas A&M Real Estate Center. So I just wanted to share that with you. But here are the over $1 million market stats for Travis County. You can also see the inventory has continued to grow. I also want to foundationally just say, over on the bar graph, the key there is different. So that's going to 1,600 units versus the bar graph here on Travis County is using 10,000 units. So it makes the graphs look, they're not equitable in what we're looking at here. But here's what's different about the over $1 million price point. The average sold price is actually up. So that's the anomaly from the slides. Most of them you will see, especially as I go to Williamson here, we're down on sold units. We're down on the sold price. We're down on the average list to sale, and we're up on average days on market. That is the common trend across the counties in Austin, Texas. So Williamson, Hayes, and Bastrop. It is a little different in Travis, and it is a little bit different in the $1 million and above in Travis County as well. So, and you'll see that here with Hayes, and also the same trend with Bastrop. So our average sold price, those of you that were on the Citywide team meeting, I think it was in February, Melanie, if I remember correctly, it might have been March, but we had David Tandy on. That was March. And David Tandy talked about the appreciation that we saw in the 10 years prior to the COVID year. So the 2010 to 2020, Austin, Texas was at a 6% appreciation rate. The average, guys, nationally is 4%. So we were at 6% appreciation. 2020, 2021, 2022, we saw an average appreciation in Austin, Texas of over 21% each year. And with that being said, he felt and believes that we have had a realignment, and that we have seen the baseline where we are today, and we're going to start to trend back at 6% appreciation from here. So the good news is, and what I don't want you to walk away from, is thinking that we're in that our market, we're in anything but a realignment. We are in a realignment, and things are getting better, but we are also at a point where we're going to continue to appreciate from here. If you take the 6% appreciation from 2010 to 2020 and you continue that line, our average price point here in Austin would be $390, y'all. So wow. If you see that our average price point is about $525 to $550, depending kind of where you're looking, wow. I'm using all of the numbers aggregated together. That tells you that we're still above that average appreciation if you carried it. So wanted to just share that with you as well and remind you of that conversation we just had a couple of months ago. Here's Bastrop. Again, similar trend. And then lastly, I will leave you with our market share stats for Austin, Texas for Keller Williams. And this shows you in the $500,000 price point, the $1 million price point, the $2 million, and the $3 million. This is the Q1 stats. We'll be updating these shortly. And then this will show you the full year stats as well.
Yeah, that's
For-
awesome. And it's so amazing when you think about 1 year ago, the days on market, right? Days on market, you look at, they're all about 300% increase, right? And it just shows you how crazy, you guys, think about 1 year ago, how insane our market was, you know, the
It's
whole,
crazy.
it's crazy. So all that's normal. This is all like a normalization. So I love that you brought that and pulled in the David Tandy, you know, information on, I'm like, you know, 21% like year over year. That's insane.
Wow.
2 years in a row, right? And so
Three
Yeah.
years, Melanie.
a row. Yeah, crazy. We're done. Okay, so we have to wrap up because we're getting kicked out of our room. Chase, thank you so much. Let's hop to Andrea and let's give away some books. And did you have anything else, Chase? I'm so sorry.
No,
share
that's
the
it.
screen.
Let's go, Andrea. We want to know
Yeah,
who.
I need to have screen permission. You'll let me have permission to share screen.
Permission. Hold on. Screen permission, and we will be out of here. Be as noisy as you guys want. We are just now co-host. Okay. And we will hand autograph these. In fact, I'm gonna have you sign mine too.
Right,
Definitely.
are we ready? Can y'all see my
go.
screen? Spin that wheel.
That's so cool.
I love
I
that.
love that. That's awesome.
Oh, Scotty Watson.
Woo! So we got Scotty
right, so we got
Watson.
that
Okay,
name,
so
right.
Scotty Watson. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Scotty.
ready? We got Scotty. How many books we have, you said?
3. Jacinto.
What
Awesome.
office? are you in? What office is
Yeah,
you
what
guys-
office? What's he-
Northwest.
Northwest?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Yay. Oh, there you are. I see like your official name. You're plugging in, man. See, you show up and you're making money already. I love it. Okay, who else?
Michelle?
Michelle. Are
Is
you
that
on?
pronounced correctly? Michelle, yes?
It's Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No worries, Mitchell. We got you. Okay, so is that it, Melanie? 3? We got 3?
We'll
Yeah.
get those autographed and we'll get them to you. Thank you. That was such a great way to do it.
Love it.
That's
I
the
love
best.
it.
That was for doing papers. Congratulations. You guys, thank you so much for hey Scotty, look at your cute little friend there.
Thank you. Happy night. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for
you.
your time and
Thank
for
Thank you, John.
co-hosting with me today, and Chase.
We're gonna get killed even being here,
We're
so
gonna
they
get
should
in
be
trouble,
happy.
so-
Yeah.
Exactly. So they
Yeah.
make over there. So we're gonna get out of the room and we're gonna get back to our session, and we'll see you in the market center.
See you guys.
It'll
Thank
be
you.
great.
All
What do you say? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Thanks for
everybody.
bye.
See ya.